Definitely, it changed the way how I see life in general. Some of the stories that people tell me about like what they're going through, and it just got me thinking. Like, everyone go through different things in life. We just don't know. They might be going through a hard time. You just don't know.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Pickle Me This. Be sure to subscribe, comment, and like so you'll be notified when new episodes drop every Saturday morning. You definitely don't want to miss them. Also, your support helps other pickleball enthusiasts find us too. Everyone has a story. Everyone, welcome to another episode of Pickle Me This, and I'm your host, Deirdre. And today we're sitting down with Wayne, the founder of For Fun Pickleball here in the Triangle. What started as a simple idea during COVID has grown into a thriving community of over 2,000 players, regular meetups, and a Facebook group with over 400 members. Today, we'll hear Wayne's own journey from picking up his first paddle to becoming a cornerstone of our local pickleball scene. It's a story about passion, persistence, and the power of bringing people together through this sport. So let's dive in. Welcome, Wayne.
Thank you.
How are you?
Pretty good. Yep.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what was going on in your life when you discovered the sport?
Actually, I didn't really discover this sport. It actually was introduced to me by one of my friends from my
Nice.
For Fun tennis group. So
Ah,
yeah, so she told me like, oh, there's this new sport called pickleball. You want to give it a shot? And I said, okay, why not? So we actually went to one of those indoor community center, and then she showed me how, and they have paddles there too, of course. And we just play. And after that, I liked it, and I added to my For Fun tennis group. So originally it was called For Fun Tennis and Pickleball, and then later
oh,
on it got separated into For Fun Tennis and then For Fun Pickleball.
oh, nice. I didn't know that it was a group for tennis players beforehand.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you still play tennis? Do you still
I
play
haven't
both?
played for a year now, but I'm trying to get back to it this summer.
Mhm.
Just because, I have all my tennis stuff and I enjoy tennis too, so I want to get back as well too.
Yeah. I used to play a lot of tennis, but I haven't played tennis in a long time either. I'm afraid I might when I first started playing pickleball, this happened to you? Like I would swing.
Yeah.
And I think because I was so used to a bigger, longer tennis racket, I
Yeah.
would miss. So I
Hmm.
don't know that if I don't know I could switch back and forth between the two sports very well, but maybe. Like I haven't tried it, so I don't know.
That's not too bad. I mean, when I first started, I actually adjusted pretty quickly. I guess because all my life I play sports, so I'm used to like changing to different sports.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense, right? You're naturally athletic then.
Maybe.
Take us back. Take us back to the moment when you first picked up a paddle. What was the experience like? Like what happened that day? Did your friend ask you to go play?
Yeah, yeah. My friend asked me to go play, and I thought it was kind of interesting because because I played ping pong before too when I was a kid.
Mm.
And it's like, oh, okay, so this kind of a mix of ping pong and tennis. So, and I always enjoy sports. So when we first started, I thought it was okay. We had fun and we met up with some people at the community center and then we just played some games.
Did you jump into open play right away at the community center, or did you have like your own court and you played?
No, it's open play.
Okay, that's pretty brave. Open play day one, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Why not,
Yeah.
right?
Why not? Why not? I
Yeah.
know there are some people who are afraid to, but no, for sure, why not? There's lots of people who will find people to go play with at first, but
Yeah,
um,
I'm not a very shy guy, so when there's something new, I like to try it.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. Before For Fun tennis and pickleball, did
Mhm.
you have experience with community building before that?
Um, uh, Not really, because actually I haven't really done meetup until I moved to North Carolina. So when I moved to North Carolina, I didn't know anybody, right? Because I was here by myself. So I found this website called meetup.com.
Mm-hmm.
So I was reading about it. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Something different, way to meet new people. And then I don't have to like do things on my own because there's other people that does it. So one of the first meetup I joined was the hiking group. I think I forget what's the name of it, but it's one of the biggest hiking group in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also joined the tennis group. Actually, I forget what's the name of it, but it wasn't called For Fun Tennis. Later on, we changed it to be For Fun Tennis. So I met a lot of people there, and then later on, the original owner of that tennis meetup decided not to take care of the meetup group anymore. So usually with meetup groups, have the owner quits, then they ask people if you want to take over.
Right.
So, after all those time meeting so many people, I figure I'll give back to the community. So I took over the tennis group, and from there I just keep on doing it.
Yeah. Did you organize like sports beforehand, like years ago, like sports groups?
Not quite.
See.
I mean, I was in leagues and stuff. Like, when I was in Chicago, I played softball for like 10 years in like a community league. And then I played a lot of basketball when I was in college with friends and just like open play, pick up games.
Mhm.
So, I done a lot of those things, but I really didn't organize sports activities.
Yeah. How many years have you been here in the Triangle?
Since 2011. So about 14 years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I came in 2013 and I also found meetup.com. I didn't know that it existed before that. The
Yeah.
same
I
thing as
mean,
you, right? I
yeah.
came in, I didn't really know anybody.
Yep.
So I started doing some like tech groups and also I think I also joined that hiking group for a little
I think
bit.
everyone joined the hiking group. That was
Like
like the
thousands
biggest
of
hiking
people.
group here. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. How has the scene changed in the years since you've been part of it? Because I feel like even the couple years I've been playing, it's changed a lot.
Well, when I first started, there was no pickleball group, right? No meetups. And I just decided let's just do it. And
Mhm.
when we first started, we had very little people. Probably like less than 100, less than 50 probably. And then they just keep on growing. I guess because during COVID, people didn't have anything else to do and they just want to do something. So when they saw that pick up a meetup, they figured might as well give it a shot.
Mhm.
So then we start just getting people every week coming through. So and each week we have like couple of events. Because back then I was like the only organizer, so I had to spend a lot of time just organizing multiple times a week just to get people to come out and play. But now it's a little bit better because now I got a couple of the organizers that actually does different events for me, so I don't have to like do all the meetups myself. So which is really nice.
Yeah, for sure. That is really nice. So you still host the meetup
Yeah.
groups.
So yeah, right now I only host one meetup a week rather than like 4 or 5 like when I first started.
Mhm.
So I only host the Wednesday night beginner meetup because none of my organizers want to do beginner meetups. So I said, okay, I'll do it.
Isn't that it's funny how that happens? You start playing pickleball and you're like, I don't want to hang out with the beginners anymore. I'm too good. I want good games.
Yeah, but like my Wednesday beginner meetup, there's still always new people that come to the event because they just want to learn and they hear
Yes.
about it and they never even touch a paddle. So I still enjoy teaching people and getting them acclimated to the sport.
Has the age ranges changed over the years that come?
Um, it still varies. Like when I first started, age range varies, and right now it's still the same thing. I get like different age groups, so I get seniors, I get like middle age. I sometimes even get like young people that comes out too.
Mm, yeah.
Um, for a while there's some of the people that came out, they actually brought their kids, so they taught their kids. So I actually has a group me for the kids because some of the parents they said, well, the kids want to play, but then the adults don't want to play with kids. So I said, okay, why don't we just create a youth group me for
Hmm.
pickleball? So then
Hmm.
the families and their kids could get together and play, set up time to play with each other.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's a good segue into group me. So when I first started playing, there was a meetup at our course. You're at different courts than where I
Yeah.
play, but in the triangle, they're all connected.
Hmm.
And group me was definitely a big chat in the beginning. People were like, "Oh, who's going out to play? Are the courts wet? Are they dry?" Like lots of conversation going on. But now they're more quiet,
Hmm.
at least on our side. So tell us about how group me started.
I guess we start using GroupMe because it's just an easier way for people to communicate.
Hmm.
Meetup is great for setting up events, but it's really hard for people to talk to each other.
Hmm.
I guess because their chat platform is not very friendly. There's no way for them to do like community chat, right? So with
Yeah.
GroupMe, everyone could talk within the application itself. So
Yep.
it's kind of nice, and they also could set up events in that application as well too. So I
Yeah.
think that's how we started. And so then I start creating GroupMe for each town. So now we have a GroupMe for every town in the triangle.
Hmm. So I see some activity in there, not as much as it used to be. Like, do you find some channels are busier than others?
I do notice my Apex GroupMe is busier. I think it's because we have a lot more courts in this town, and also we have a lot more players that, well, because they a lot of them they started in my Kelly Road Park,
Hmm.
so they joined the Apex group, and they're just so used to be in there chatting. So I think there's a lot more activity there versus the other ones that came later.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, she like maybe people are like, "Where are you playing tonight?" Right? Which
Yeah,
courts are you at?
yeah. Yeah, and that's why those GroupMe I changed the format too. So like each part has its own kind of like subtopic. So then like if they want to play at different part, then they just go to that part's topic and then talk over there.
Hmm.
Just make it a little bit cleaner.
Yeah,
Versus before, everyone just chatting in the main group, and then people get all confused.
yeah. Confused or annoyed
Yeah,
sometimes, right? They're
yes.
like, I'm out, I'm out." But then also people find their own people that
Hmm.
they like to play with, right? And they'll create their own text groups and stuff too. So that
Yeah.
makes sense. Can you share a story, like a fun story about from maybe one of your earliest meetups and what it was like?
Yeah, I think like the fun one was well, we started at Method in Raleigh because
Mhm.
back then not many parts has pickleball courts. So when we first started the meetup, that's where we met, and it was kind of interesting over there because it's near NC State, so
Mhm.
you tend to get a lot of like students coming and playing over there, and sometimes they when we're playing there as a group, sometimes we have older people that come play, and of course a lot of beginners, and then a lot of the younger folks, once they get better, they just don't want to play with like beginners or like older people. So it's kind of funny up there because they have six courts there, and then it's three courts separated by a fence in the middle. So it's a lot of time you go there, people will know like, oh, the right side is for all the like advanced players, and then the left side is for beginners. So it's always kind of funny how it's kind of split up over there.
It definitely is. And you'll get looked at if you go on the wrong side.
Yeah, yep, yep, a little bit.
What's the funniest thing you've witnessed with people playing on the pickleball courts?
You know, I think the funniest thing I don't think should be funny, but it is kind of funny to me because like all these years playing sports, you don't see these injuries or like the way how people kind of like trip over themselves playing sports. So
Mhm.
so I thought that was a little bit funny, but I know it shouldn't be funny because people are getting hurt.
It's still kind of funny. And then most of the time they'll get up, right?
Yeah.
And they'll like take it off. And it's funny after the fact. It's not funny
Yes.
during,
Yeah.
but it's funny after.
Yep.
It's funny after because we've all fallen and we all know what that feeling is like. So it's
Yep.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
You also formed an LLC to create the Facebook group. Like walk us through that whole evolution. Like what motivated each of those steps?
Yeah, when we first start the meetup, and then we start noticing there's so much interest in pickleball. And back then in the triangle, there's not much offering, right? There was no pinpoint, there's no pickles and play, all these different business for pickleball. So
Mhm.
then we decide, okay, why don't we just do like a company on our own and offer these kind of things for people. So within the group me, I actually asked people if they're interested in investing in like a pickleball business. So there was a lot of interest, but you know how it is with business, trying to get everyone together and agreeing on something was a little bit tough.
Mhm.
Um, and then finally, after like so many different meetings and discussions, we end up with several people that decide like, okay, we could just do a LLC together. And so it was me, Brad, Michelle, and Danny.
Mhm.
So the four of us formed the LLC, and we try to do different events. So that year, we actually created events almost every season. I think one of the most interesting event was the one that was created by Michelle, which is the pickleball. Basically, it's pickleball and dancing and eating together. So it was a fun time, everyone really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
So we actually rent out Herbert Young in Cary, and then we have almost all the whole place to ourselves in a way because we have one of the big room for the eating and dancing, and
Mhm.
then we have all the pickleball court downstairs. So like people take turn going there and play, and then we also have a photo booth next door as well too, so people could take like pictures. So
Right.
it was fun. It's like yes, a big old pickleball party.
Yeah. So for the LLC, do you like capture dues or something to have money to fund stuff? Like, how does that work?
No, because we haven't really finalized everything. So with the LLC, the original idea was to do tournaments and leagues and probably dues later on. But in a way, it was a little bit hard because when you have a couple of people getting together and try to kind of like agree on stuff, it's a little bit tough. You
Yeah.
know, any business owner would know those issues. So it was hard to agree on certain things. So we never materialized too much on that part.
Mhm.
I mean, like I said, we did some tournaments and events, and then we collected, but we didn't charge much because we try not to overcharge people.
Right.
Like a lot of these tournaments, as you see nowadays, is so expensive, right?
So expensive.
Yeah, like I think the most expensive one I ever seen was I think registration for just for one event is about like $115, and that's not including like bracket fee and stuff.
Right.
So that's way too much, And if you think about it, a lot of people, they join a couple of tournaments a year. So let's just say we join like four or five of these, that's $400 or $500 a year, and you're not counting about like apparels and paddles that they're buying. Paddles these days, really nice one. You talk about over $200.
Mhm.
So it kind of adds up, and
Yep.
as more of I mean, we try not to like make people pay too much for pickleball, because we all enjoy playing pickleball together, and we try to minimize, all the expenses. So, with each event, even though we charge, but mostly it just kind of like covers all the costs and expenses.
Yeah.
But right now, we're kind of like not doing as much as we started because right now I think it's just down to me and Brad.
Oh, it's also hard, right? Like if you're people's schedules, like your own schedules to plan it, it takes a lot of work to do that kind of stuff, right? To
It
find the
is.
time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it does take a lot of work. I mean, people don't realize that because even organizing one tournament, it takes a lot of logistics,
Yes.
from renting a place, getting catering. There's also like different fees like awards and stuff. And
Mhm.
just organizing the whole tournament in itself is very time consuming.
Very time consuming. Gosh, years ago, I used to plan like parties and stuff
Hmm.
at my company. I worked at Motorola.
Hmm.
Because you're from Chicago.
Yeah, I worked there
um,
too.
oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
no way. How, like
I
which
I was in
building?
Schaumburg.
Schaumburg? Okay,
Yeah.
so I was in Horsham, Pennsylvania. It was like a big campus
Okay.
there. It was like 1,300 people. But I would sometimes go to Chicago. I'd mostly go to Libertyville
Oh, okay.
when
Yeah,
I was
that's so
there.
far from
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So I used to go there all the time. But when we were at Motorola, the company used to have these big, because we were actually bought by, we were General Instrument before we were
Oh, okay.
Motorola.
Hmm.
So they used to throw these big shindig Christmas parties, like all out,
Yeah.
lots of money. It was like a really fancy wedding. So
Hmm.
people got used to that. And then Motorola did that for a few years and then they cut back the budget, I think, because they were so big. They just didn't do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we started funding it ourselves.
Wow.
And when we did that, I became the natural like organizer to it. So I'd have to like find a place, do all the organizing, get people to sign up, right? Get people to pay.
Hmm.
And I didn't make any money off of it. I was just trying to like pool everybody's money so we could have a good time.
Yeah. Hmm.
And getting people to commit or not back out, people who haven't organized things
Hmm.
personally, they
Yep.
don't understand all the things you have to do
Yeah.
around it, right?
Yep.
And then people backing out last minute is a lot. It's a lot of pressure on the person putting it together.
Hmm.
So I feel that. I feel that aspect for sure. Right, so tell me about a time when you realized the impact your group was having on the larger pickleball community. Because I feel like you are in the middle
Mhm,
of a lot of stuff that happened. Like everybody knows you
mhm.
in the area. They're like, "Oh, Wayne," you know, like
Yeah.
you're recognized everywhere. So like you're like the central piece that at least got it going. So
Mhm.
like, what do you think your impact has been?
I think it's just getting people out to be active and playing a sport because over the years I met so many people and I
Yeah,
have to apologize to all of them that I forget their name because I always have to ask people's name because if I haven't seen them for a while,
yeah.
it's hard for me to remember. Yeah, I mean, like, if you think about it, like, we started with less than 100 people. Now we got like 2,200 people, right? So over the years, you're talking about like, thousands of people that I met. But one thing I always remember is people coming to me and telling me like how much this changed their lives because some of them, like, let's just say seniors, right? A lot of them, they retire or they're just home by themselves and they really have not much to do. So ever since they found the meetup group and they came out and play pickleball and they start meeting like friends through the meetup group, um, that it really changed their lives and they tell me about it too. So it makes me feel really nice about that too, you know. And even some people, they come and tell me like, they're going through a hard time in life. Like, let's just say they're going through a divorce or separation or something happened in their life, and then they found pickleball and they came to my events and play. And I think it's kind of like give them an outlet, you know,
Right.
and and they were able to talk to other people instead of staying home and be sad or be gloomy by themselves. So it's kind of nice, just to hear these stories and people actually come and tell me about it. And that's why it kind of motivate me to keep on going and doing this for people.
Oh, I love that. Let's see. Let's talk about personal, like outside the group, just like you like yourself. Can you share a funny story about you playing on the courts individually?
Oh, there's some, but like I said, over the years I met and played with so many people. Sometimes I forget who, but
Mhm.
sometimes I would joke with them and just kind of tease them about things, like what they did on the court. So we have a lot of laughs on the court with everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's good. What about pet peeves for
I would
you?
say my biggest pet peeve are people who actually hit hard to beginners. Like even though like they know they're beginners and they still like hit really hard to them, and it really drives me nuts. And I always try to tell people, you gotta be nice. Everyone started as a beginner,
Mhm.
so I don't think the beginner appreciate it when you're like hitting so hard to them.
Yes. I know it's hard, right? Because then they're just like you said, they're just beginning. They need a little extra.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a pretty casual and laid back guy, so I try
That's
not to let
good.
these annoy me that much.
That's good. That's good because a lot of people can't say that.
I seen it on the court too.
Yes, you can tell a lot about people on the court, right? And
Yes.
how they play and how
Yep.
they react.
Yeah.
Hmm. Can you share a story about a friendship or a connection that formed for you through the group or through pickleball that stands out to you?
Um, through pickleball, I met a few friends that we became close, and we're almost like best friends. So that was really nice.
Yeah. So do you hang out outside of the court or do you play pickleball together or both?
We hang out outside of court too. Like sometimes we do like trips together, go watch movies, dining out, different
Oh,
things outside
nice.
of pickleball.
Ooh, trips together like vacations?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the funny thing
Oh.
is, because we all play pickleball, right? So
Hmm.
like every time we do a trip, we always bring our paddle, and then we always try to find pickleball courts to play. So
Hmm.
a lot of time, like when we go on trips, we would like play pickleball in the morning, and then after the morning, we'll have lunch, and then we'll do like the vacation day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's fun.
No, that's good. That's good. How do you see the Fun for Pickleball group evolving in the coming years?
I think this year we're gonna try to do a little bit more. Like this morning, I just did a DUPR event for advanced beginners because that's something that been on my plate for a while because people ask me like when I'm gonna do it again. Because last year back, I was doing a lot of DUPR events for people, just so they could get their ratings into their
Hmm.
work. So I stopped for a while because some issue with like the township because they don't want us to do certain like organized events in public parks. But kind of we kind of like go met with the Rex and Parks and Recs and went through that whole issue. But so it's settled. There's no problem. We have a mutual understanding. But then after that, I have kind of a bad aftertaste from that meeting, so I stopped doing it. And then
What
I'm
what was
starting
the
to.
issue?
Well, it's just like people complaining about us kind of like hogging up the courts, but we
Mm.
weren't. We were doing the same thing as everyone else, like the public. We're just rotating. We put our paddles in the paddle rack,
Right.
but I guess when people complain, they just like to kind of exaggerate and saying like, "Oh, we just hog up
Yeah.
all the courts," but that's not the case.
Right.
So after that, I just like it's very disheartening to hear people
Mhm.
say that. So I just kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break.
So when you went this morning, was it, especially on a Saturday morning, it must have been kind of crowded? No?
Funny thing is, this morning wasn't too crowded. I wonder if this is because of the weather, because it's
I
a
think yes, because they were calling for rain all day and it hasn't
yeah,
rained. So I
yeah.
wonder
So
if
we were able to go through a rotation pretty quickly.
that's good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do want to build up their duper scores or just actually maybe not even build up. They just want to know what level they are.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
right? Like where do I stand so that if I choose to go play a tournament or if I choose to go sign up for a league, I'm putting myself in the right
Yep. Yep.
place.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
Yeah.
nice, once you get your rating,
Mhm.
they feel more like part of pickleball.
Right.
Yep.
Right. What other stories have we not talked about that you want to share about pickleball, just like your life in general? Like, I think a lot of people are just interested in learning more about the people that they play with. Like, why did you come to the Triangle, or what was living in Chicago like?
Well, so my wife and I, we both grew up in Chicago, and after a while, you just kind of want to change scenery, and especially if Chicago, um, it's cold,
It's a little
and
cold, especially in February.
let's put it this way: don't expect no snow until June because we had snow in May. So pretty much
Wow.
in Chicago, it's like 3 months of nice weather, and then the rest is like winter. But either way, we just want to change the scenery because, having grown up there for so many years, we just want to like, move to a new place.
Mhm.
So I actually did a bunch of research across the U.S. and
Nice.
look at different cities. Actually, one of the city I like was Portland, but it's just too gloomy there. So we decided against it. And then
Mhm.
we actually vacation in Outer Bank a lot, pretty often back then. So
Okay.
we passed by the Triangle, and one time we stopped and get gas, and I was looking around like, oh, this is a nice area. So then I went home and did some research, and I really like what they have to offer here. So we decided to move here.
So you just up and moved. Like, how much time did you spend here before you moved? Before
I
you
would
made the decision to
say
move?
it took like 1 or 2 years before we moved because I was kind of waiting for
Mhm.
my job to let me go first.
Mhm.
I know it's really strange. I could have quit, but the thing is, if I quit, I won't get any like severance or any unemployment, and that helps with the move, right?
Right?
Yeah. So, and I knew they were gonna let me go because our company they actually bought another company, and they're moving their whole IT department over. So I knew they were getting rid of our current IT department back then.
Mm.
So I was just kind of waiting. And then once they let me go, and I told my wife, okay, we're packing. So we just moved after that.
Did you know anybody here before moving?
No, actually, I didn't. The only person I sort of know is like my sister-in-law's cousin,
Mm.
which really is pretty remote to me.
Mhm.
So when we moved, my sister-in-law said, "Oh, why don't you go look for my cousin?" So I did. We went out for dinner, and that's pretty much it. And
Yeah.
other than that, I really didn't know anyone else. So, But I was okay because I'm one of those type of guys. I like adventures, so I don't mind going to a new place, meeting new people, just try different things.
That's true, right?
Yeah, and I
I'm
took
some.
2 month retirement.
Oh heck yeah! So with the were you were in IT? You said
Yeah,
what did you do in IT? What was your role?
I'm a software engineer, so I do a
Okay.
lot of
Mm-hmm.
applications and
Yep.
development. Yep.
Yeah. Very very cool. Yeah, I was a developer for a bunch of years and then moved into product management. When you worked at Motorola, what products did you work on?
I actually work on a handheld device.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we were working with the Canadian Postal Service. So we're trying to sell our handheld device to their postal service.
Yeah. That's how the business still exists. I think right
I
as
don't know.
Motorola Solutions. No.
I don't know. Like these days, all the companies they kind of split everything and then sell it to different companies. It's hard to even keep track.
I know. Motorola was a behemoth back in the day. You know.
Yeah.
What else do you like to do for fun besides pickleball?
A
So
lot of
you're
stuff.
retired.
No, I'm not retired.
Oh, you're not retired. I thought you said
No,
you were retired.
no. I said I
Ah.
retired for 2 months when I moved here.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got
Because
it.
I told my wife, like, you know what, I'm a little bit burned out. I need to take some time off. So I moved here, just kind of rested and didn't do much. And then like after 2 months, I start looking for a job because she said, well, we're coming soon. Because I came here by myself first. And she and my boys stay in Chicago.
Mm.
And then when I moved here, it was like about May-ish or something. So, it's summertime, so the boys were out of school. So I didn't really have to worry about that. But when it was getting near to September, she said, well, you gotta find a job because we're moving here and we gotta get the boys into school. So I was like, okay, my retirement's over.
Okay. Well, you did have severance, like you said, right? It wasn't like you weren't making any income.
Yeah,
So
yep,
that's
yeah,
good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So okay. So what do you like to do? What do you like to do for fun besides pickleball?
I like listening to music a lot. I like to read. Um, Sometimes I'll go bowling too. Bowling's a big thing in Chicago, especially when you have winter that long.
Oh, that makes sense. You do something inside.
Yeah, yep. I like watching movies a lot, so I watched so many movies over the years. It's kind of crazy, and I watch like movies from different language as well too. So not
Oh,
just
that makes
not
yeah.
just Hollywood. So yeah,
Oh, very
so
cool.
yeah, I like biking too. So I bought like a couple of e-bikes last couple of years just so I could ride around because I don't have the stamina like I used to.
You're saying you're preaching to the choir. Happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Does your wife and your boys play pickleball?
No, I try to get them to play, but they're not interested.
That's okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, you can't share all the hobbies. I know. I try to
yeah,
get my kids to play too, and they've played a few times. Like my youngest played a few times. Well, she played the most of everybody, but it hasn't stuck with any of them. But that's okay. We
yeah.
still hang out and
Maybe
do
they'll
other
pick up
things too.
later on.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Right? Maybe. And in the meantime, we just go play with other people. Get to know
yep.
other people.
There you go.
How has building this community changed your perspective on life?
Um, Definitely, it changed the way how I see life in general. Like some of the stories that people tell me about like what they're going through, and it just got me thinking. Like, everyone go through different things in life. We just don't know. They don't say it in to your face, right? But in the back, they might be going through a hard time. You just don't know. And sometimes we just have to be more understanding to one another, and that actually make me think about life in general a lot. And even right now, thinking about like different people out there that needs help sometimes, and thinking about how fortunate I am where I'm at in life. Like I have a good life, I have a nice family, great friends, and not everyone has that. And sometimes I feel like I need to try to help as much as I can.
I love that. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think people need to be more empathetic and
Yeah.
kind to
No,
each other.
definitely, definitely. I think that's the problem these days.
Yes.
It's I just feel like a lot of people just think about themselves and no one else, which is just not right.
I know. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Um, trial question is, what would your life be like without pickleball?
I don't
Could you
know.
imagine?
I
Yeah.
never really thought about that question. Yeah. I would say without pickleball, I probably have less friends and I would have never met some of my best friends in life because I have met them through pickleball. And I think I would do other stuff because pickleball does take a lot of time these days.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. I asked that question recently to somebody, and the person was like, "I think I'd be a lot less happy. It just brings me so much happiness." I'm like, I hear that too, you know.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you, Wayne. Thank you for coming on,
Well, thank you for having me.
and I will see you out on the courts.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next time when a new episode drops each Saturday. If you like this episode, be sure to leave us a like, and we'll see you out on the courts. Bye.